Dear Starseed from Gaia, the love you are carrying for this person is not ordinary love. It is a sacred contract written into your soul before you ever drew your first breath on this earth. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I am delivering this transmission directly from the reunion guides, who have seen your journey and are calling out to you in this exact moment. Do not give up on this person. Something in you already knows this connection is different. Something in you has fought against every logical reason to walk away, and still found yourself returning to the thought of them, the feeling of them, the unfinished truth of what you two carry together. That is not weakness. That is your soul, honoring a bond that was forged in light, sealed in divine love, and brought into this lifetime with purpose. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to navigate this sacred separation. Recognize what your heart has been trying to tell you, and align yourself with the divine union that is still being woven together on your behalf. But here is the first revelation. The distance you feel right now between you and this person is not a sign that the connection has broken. It is a sign that both of your souls are being prepared. The reunion guides are clear. This silence, this ache, this uncertainty is the sacred space where transformation happens before reunion becomes possible. You did not find this transmission by chance. Your heart called this message in at the precise moment you needed it most. This is not content. It is a divine intervention arriving in real time, spoken directly into your journey. Like this transmission to affirm to the universe, my heart is ready for divine love. Subscribe if you are walking the twin flame path and aligning with sacred union. Comment 1111 if you feel your heart awakening to the truth of this bond, and share this with someone who needs to hear that their love is still worth fighting for. This is not just a message. It is a moment your soul has been waiting for. The reunion guides see you. They see this person, and they are asking you to hold on just a little longer. Your heart knows why you are here. There are people in your life who feel ancient. Not familiar in the way a childhood friend feels familiar, but ancient, like you have known them across time, across worlds, across versions of yourself you cannot fully remember but somehow still carry. You meet them and something inside you does not say hello. It says, finally. It is a resonant chord struck deep within your being, an echo from a distant shore, signaling that a long-awaited reunion has at last arrived. That feeling is not your imagination running ahead of logic, weaving fanciful narratives in the quiet chambers of your mind. That feeling is your soul, recognizing an indelible imprint, a sacred contract it agreed to long before your body drew its first breath, long before the earthly sun ever warmed your skin. It is an energetic signature that bypasses the linear progression of time and the limited perceptions of the human ego, speaking directly to the cosmic blueprint woven into your very essence. Most people walk past these connections without truly understanding what they are. They brush against the profound depth of such encounters and instinctively recoil, an ancient fear stirring within their subconscious. They feel the overwhelming intensity, the unmistakable gravitational pull, and mistakenly label it as too much, too powerful to contain, too demanding for their carefully constructed lives. They pull back. They minimize the inexplicable magnetic force. They rationalize away the undeniable pull they feel towards certain people with a flurry of logical excuses. Timing is off. Circumstances are inconvenient. It's just infatuation. And in doing so, in that act of intellectual dismissal, they walk away from one of the most sacred arrangements their soul ever made, leaving a vital piece of their spiritual journey unfulfilled, like a symphony left unfinished. If you have ever loved someone in a way you could not logically explain, if you have ever felt drawn to another person with a force that had nothing whatsoever to do with logic, practicality, or personal convenience, if you have ever looked into another's eyes and felt the strange, bittersweet grief of remembering something you cannot quite name, a profound knowing that transcends current understanding, then what is being shared here in this very moment is specifically, intimately, and undeniably for you. It is a message coded for your heart, a whisper for your soul. Because you are not ordinary in the way the world frequently defines ordinary. You are not meant for mundane connections or superficial encounters, and neither are they. You both carry a unique frequency, a starlight signature. Some souls arrive in this lifetime carrying a different kind of origin signal, an unmistakable vibrational blueprint that hums with a resonance beyond earthly confines. They come not simply to live human lives, to navigate the ordinary joys and sorrows of the material plane, but to serve as living tuning forks, souls whose very presence acts as a catalyst, causing other souls to vibrate at a higher, more authentic frequency. These souls, often feeling a lifelong sense of otherness or a deep inner knowing of their extraterrestrial origins, are frequently called starseeds. And one of the primary, most profound reasons they choose to incarnate here, in this dense, often confusing and intensely challenging human experience, is to find each other. Not for romance alone, though that can certainly be a beautiful expression. Not for comfort alone, though solace is a natural byproduct of such connection, but to awaken each other to what they truly are, luminous beings of immense power, divine sparks carrying cosmic wisdom, here to assist in the ascension of the planet. Their reunion is not just personal, it is planetary. This awakening, this profound remembering, cannot be done in isolation. It requires contact. It demands the precise, intricate alchemy of two souls who carry complementary frequencies coming into connection, much like two parts of a lost melody finally finding harmony. And through that connection, lighting up what was dormant, igniting the latent potential within each other. Your persistent longing, that deep ache for a profound connection, is not a weakness to be shamed or ignored. It is your soul's internal compass, guiding you towards your true north. Your depth of feeling for someone who touches you at the very core of your being, at the soul level, is not an obsession or a delusion to be dismissed by external skeptics. It is recognition. It is an undeniable, cellular knowing. And recognition, once it happens, once that cosmic bell has rung, cannot be undone. It can only be honored and integrated, or abandoned and deeply regretted. Most people, sadly, abandon it, not because they are inherently cruel or lacking in love, but simply because no one ever told them what it truly was. No one provided the map, the context, or the profound spiritual significance of such an encounter. They lacked the language to describe it, and the courage to trust it without external validation. What you just felt, that quiet ache mixed with recognition, is not sadness. It is your frequency remembering what it came here to receive. If this transmission stirred something you cannot name, the divine love frequency code was written for this exact moment in your journey. It contains 5 sacred Arcturian transmissions designed to dissolve the wounds blocking your divine counterpart and activate the signal that draws them closer. The link is in the first pinned comment, but it will only remain there for a short time. The first key, the ancient recognition. Some bonds were never new. Before you can truly honor a soul bond, before you can fully open yourself to its transformative power, you must first understand what makes it fundamentally different from every other connection you have ever formed, be it familial, platonic, or romantic. The ancient recognition is not merely a flicker of familiarity. It is an earth-shattering moment when your nervous system registers something profound, something the logical mind cannot yet translate or categorize. It is a full-body knowing, a cellular memory activated. You may feel it as a profound warmth blossoming in your chest, a golden light spreading from your heart center outwards. You may feel it as a sudden, breathtaking stillness descending upon a busy, chaotic room, as if time itself has paused just for this sacred encounter. You may feel it as unexpected tears welling in your eyes without any obvious cause, a gentle release of ancient grief or overwhelming joy, or perhaps laughter that rises from a place deeper than mere humor, echoing an ancient delight. That is not simply chemistry in the conventional sense, not the superficial spark of physical attraction. That is resonance. That is the undeniable hum of two frequencies that share a common cosmic source, two energetic signatures, two pieces of a larger divine tapestry, finding each other again in this physical form, across the vast expanse of time and space. It is a harmonic convergence, a vibrational homecoming. The starseeds who carry this kind of profound recognition have usually spent much of their lives feeling profoundly misunderstood, often isolated even when surrounded by people, or simply different in ways they could never fully articulate to the world around them. They have walked through life with an unspoken knowing, a quiet ache for a connection they couldn't quite define. And when they finally encounter another soul whose frequency matches theirs, whose energetic signature vibrates in perfect harmony with their own, the relief is not just enormous. It is almost overwhelming, like a parched desert finally receiving rain. It is the relief of being seen, truly seen, for the first time in what feels like eons. Because on a level beneath language, beneath cultural norms, beneath all the conditioning of this lifetime, they are saying to each other with every fiber of their being, "I remember you." And in that sacred act of remembering, that mutual recognition of the divine blueprint, both souls begin to come back to themselves, shedding layers of earthly illusion and stepping more fully into their authentic, cosmic identities. It is a return to their true nature, facilitated by the mirror of the other. This first, foundational key unlocks when you consciously choose to stop questioning the profound depth and inexplicable nature of what you feel, and instead begin to trust it implicitly, unequivocally. It unlocks when you stop shrinking the sacred, diminishing its power or significance simply because others in your immediate sphere cannot see it, cannot comprehend it, or cannot validate it within their limited paradigms. It unlocks when you allow yourself the courage and the conviction to say, with unwavering certainty, "Yes, I know this person in a way that transcends the boundaries of linear time and conventional understanding," and you no longer need anyone else's permission or validation to stand firm in that deeply held truth. You become your own sacred witness. The second key, the mirror of awakening. They did not come to stay, they came to show. One of the most painful and pervasive misunderstandings about sacred soul bonds is the deeply ingrained belief that they must conform to a very specific, often narrow societal ideal to be considered real or legitimate. There is a common assumption that they must be permanent, romantic, traditional, or socially legible, fitting neatly into predefined boxes of partnership, marriage, or conventional friendship. Many beautiful, profoundly sacred connections have been prematurely released, severed not by inherent incompatibility, but because those connections did not conform to the limited, often conditioned blueprints of what society or even personal expectations had dictated. Love is supposed to look like. Souls often walk away from their greatest catalysts simply because the packaging didn't match the picture in their minds. But the mirror of awakening operates by entirely different laws rooted in the higher dimensions of spiritual evolution, not in earthly constructs. Your soul counterpart, the one whose presence, whether fleeting or enduring, shifts something fundamental, undeniable, and irrevocable within you, does not typically come into your life to fit neatly into your pre-existing expectations, your comfort zones, or your carefully crafted plans. They arrive with a singular divine purpose, to show you yourself. They are a living, breathing, energetic mirror, reflecting back the parts of you that are most alive, most radiant, most powerful, most deeply cherished, but also, paradoxically, the parts of you that are most afraid, most wounded, most hidden, and most in need of compassionate integration. And that reflection, as uncomfortable, challenging, and sometimes even painful as it might sometimes be, is not a punishment. It is the very essence, the precise alchemy that creates true awakening, that sparks profound healing and accelerates your soul's evolutionary journey. It is a divine hand holding a cosmic mirror to your face, inviting you to see beyond illusion. When you look into their eyes, or simply feel their presence, and experience being seen in a way you have never ever felt before, a recognition that strips away all facades and penetrates to your core. That is not coincidence. That is the profound meeting of two mirrors facing each other, creating an infinite corridor of truth, an endless reflection of potential and authenticity. What you are truly seeing in them, beyond their individual personality or earthly form, is not just them in isolation. It is the magnificent, liberated, whole version of you that you have not yet fully given yourself permission to become, the divine blueprint of your highest self, waiting to be actualized. They are reflecting your own untapped power, your unexpressed joy, your unhealed wounds that are ready to surface. This second key unlocks when you stop resenting the mirror for showing you what needs healing, for highlighting the shadows you've carefully hidden, and instead, begin to love it fiercely, profoundly, for showing you what is truly possible, for revealing the boundless potential and inherent divinity that resides within you. It is a shift from fear of exposure to gratitude for revelation. The third key, the wound behind the wall, what blocks the cosmic bond from landing. Here is the truth, often uncomfortable and deeply confronting, that most people do not want to sit with, do not want to acknowledge, and actively avoid. The reason sacred soul bonds, particularly those of starseed origin, frequently fail to fully manifest, stabilize, or reach their highest potential is rarely, if ever, about external factors like unfortunate timing, inconvenient circumstances, or a lack of superficial compatibility. It is fundamentally about the wound that sits, often deeply hidden, behind the protective wall of the heart. Every single soul who has incarnated into this dense, often traumatic human experience carries some form of a love wound, a primal scar etched into their energetic blueprint. This is a place where they decided, consciously through painful experiences, or unconsciously through ancestral patterns and collective trauma, that love of this magnitude, this intensity, this cosmic depth, is inherently unsafe. It is a place where they concluded that vulnerability at this profound depth will inevitably lead to destruction, abandonment, or unbearable pain. It is the firm conviction that opening this fully, exposing the tender core of one's being, is a risk no one, especially not a sensitive soul, should ever take. And so, brick by energetic brick, the wall goes up. Sometimes it is a towering fortress, impenetrable and formidable. Other times it is a subtle, invisible barrier, a thin veil of protection. But its purpose is always the same: to keep the soul safe from perceived harm. And when this wall is present, the sacred bond, no matter how powerful, no matter how divinely orchestrated, cannot land fully because there is no clear, unencumbered surface for it to rest upon, no truly open heart for it to anchor into. It hovers, searching for a landing strip that remains obstructed by fear. For starseeds especially, this wound often runs exquisitely deep, because they have loved at extraordinary multidimensional frequencies in lifetimes before this one, across galaxies and star systems. And they have felt the loss, the severing, the profound grief of those frequencies with an equal, if not greater, intensity. The echo of a soul bond severed across time and space does not simply disappear because the current physical body forgets the details. It lives in the energetic body, a phantom limb of the soul. It lives in the self-sabotaging patterns you keep returning to, the familiar dances of approach and retreat. It lives in the subtle hesitation, the part of you that instinctively leans in towards true intimacy, and then, just before real, unreserved vulnerability can begin, pulls back, retreating behind the safety of the wall. This is not a personal failure. It is an ancient coping mechanism. This third key unlocks when you are willing to bravely, gently, and compassionately identify the wall within your own heart, not to demolish it with force or self-reproach, which only reinforces its purpose, but to walk toward it with an immense sense of compassion, curiosity, and non-judgment. It unlocks when you can ask it, with genuine tenderness, what it has been trying so diligently to protect all this time. When you truly understand the root cause of the wound, when you shed light on its origins and its protective intentions, You can then begin, slowly and deliberately, to dissolve the wall, not by force, but by a conscious reprogramming of safety. And when the wall begins to dissolve, when the heart's true landscape is revealed and cleared, the sacred bond finally has the necessary, unobstructed room to become what it was always, in its purest essence, meant to be: a full, uninhibited expression of divine love. The fourth key, the sacred agreement. Not every soul contract looks like comfort. You did not choose this person accidentally. There was no random collision of fate, no mere chance encounter. And they certainly did not find you by arbitrary luck. Before you arrived in this lifetime, before your soul ever took its first breath into this human form, your higher self participated in what can only be described as a profoundly sacred agreement, a cosmic arrangement, an intricate dance of destiny in which certain encounters, certain significant relationships, were prescripted not primarily for your immediate comfort, convenience, or fleeting pleasure, but for your accelerated evolution, your spiritual growth, and the expansion of your consciousness. These agreements are what some call soul contracts, and the most powerful, transformative ones are never simple, never easy, and never without profound purpose. They are designed to challenge, to awaken, to dismantle. They arrive in your life not typically during periods of ease and tranquility, but often at moments of significant disruption, when the ground beneath your feet feels shaky, when old paradigms are crumbling, or when your soul is crying out for deeper meaning. They challenge you fiercely, relentlessly, in precisely those places you had skillfully convinced yourself were already healed, integrated, or safely tucked away. They require of you a level of radical honesty, unwavering courage, and profound openness that no ordinary, comfortable, or superficial relationship ever truly demands. They ask you to show up as your authentic self, flaws and all, ready to grow. And because of this inherent difficulty, because of the intensity of the growth pains, many souls mistakenly interpret the challenging nature of the contract as definitive evidence that the connection is fundamentally wrong, a mistake, or simply not meant to be. They equate struggle with error, missing the profound blessing hidden within the friction. It is not wrong. On the contrary, it is precise. It is a masterfully crafted curriculum designed by your soul. The sacred agreement encoded within a starseed bond is specifically designed to produce profound, multi-layered transformation, not just within you as an individual, but also within the one you are deeply connected to, and often through the exponential ripple effect of two awakened souls moving in conscious alignment within the wider field of collective consciousness itself. Your joint journey creates a vortex of change that extends far beyond your personal lives. It's a key piece in the grand awakening of humanity. This fourth key unlocks when you consciously release the expectation that sacred contracts, especially those designed for high-level spiritual evolution, should feel perpetually easy, comfortable, or devoid of challenge. It unlocks when you begin to honor them deeply, with profound gratitude, for the extraordinary upgrade, the quantum leap in consciousness, and the profound, accelerated spiritual wisdom they are carrying for your soul. It is a shift from resisting the pressure to embracing the refining fire. The fifth key, the frequency of remembrance. You must become what you are calling. In the single greatest, most potent, and most transformative shift available to any soul seeking to honor, deepen, and fully manifest their sacred connection, is this profound truth. Stop exhaustively searching for the bond in the external world, chasing it through endless seeking and longing, and instead, begin with every fiber of your being to become the very frequency of it within yourself. Because a starseed bond, particularly one of cosmic significance, does not primarily respond to longing alone, to desperate wishing, or to egoic manipulation. It responds, with unerring precision, to resonance. And resonance is not something you passively find outside yourself. It is something you actively, intentionally, and authentically embody from the deepest core of your being. It is an internal state, a vibrational signature. This profound realization means that the true work of sacred love, the work that genuinely prepares you for such a monumental connection, is primarily internal. It is a deep dive into the inner landscape of your soul. It means that every single act of genuine self-love you undertake, every layer of old fear released from your energetic field, every limiting old story dissolved from your subconscious programming, every moment of genuine, loving presence you cultivate with yourself, all of it, without exception, is a direct, undeniable signal sent out into the vast, interconnected field of universal consciousness. It is the clearest, most potent message your soul can broadcast. It is the soul, in its entirety, declaring with absolute certainty, I am ready. I am no longer waiting to be made whole, complete, or worthy by another person, by an external force. I am arriving as whole, as complete, as worthy in my own right. And from this place of sovereign wholeness, I am ready to meet you there, in the sacred space of mutual, unconditional love. When both souls destined for a sacred bond begin doing this profound internal work simultaneously, even if they are in physical separation, even if there is silence stretching between them across vast distances, even if their current earthly circumstances make ordinary, linear logic question the very reality of their connection, something truly magical begins to shift in the energetic field between them. An invisible cosmic architecture starts to subtly, perfectly align. The unseen threads of destiny begin to tighten and draw them closer. And the union that once seemed impossible, a distant dream, or a mere fantasy, begins to feel, slowly at first, then undeniably, profoundly, and irrevocably, inevitable. It is the universe responding to their congruent frequencies. This fifth key unlocks when your daily choices, your moment-to-moment decisions, and your underlying motivations are consistently made from the expansive, abundant energy of love, self-worth, and readiness, rather than from the constricting, desperate energy of lack, longing, or unworthiness. It unlocks when you begin treating yourself in every thought, word, and deed with the same profound reverence, honor, and unconditional love that you believe your sacred counterpart deserves. Because, ironically, the love you consciously or unconsciously withhold from yourself is the exact frequency, the precise energetic blueprint you are asking them to provide for you from the outside. And that, my dear soul, is not true union. That is transfer. That is projecting your unmet needs onto another, burdening them with the task of completing you. This, the frequency of remembrance, is the key that transmutes and transforms the old paradigm of energetic transfer into the profound, balanced, and sustainable reality of true sovereign union. The sixth key, the stillness between stars. Separation is not absence. There are often profound and sometimes excruciatingly difficult phases in every sacred starseed connection where the physical proximity is abruptly gone, where communication ceases, and where the silence stretches between the souls in ways that feel almost unbearable, like an endless void. During these periods, the heart continues its relentless yearning, reaching across that vast perceived silence, trying to make sense of the disconnect. And it is precisely then that the mind, with its linear logic and its innate fear of loss, begins its most dangerous and destructive work, filling the perceived absence with self-created stories of loss, of failure, of abandonment, of cosmic mistake, or of a love that was simply never meant to be. It invents narratives of unworthiness, convincing the soul that something is fundamentally broken. But the stillness between stars, that profound cosmic quiet, is not darkness in the way the ego perceives it. It is not an empty void, a void of nothingness. It is, in fact, sacred space. And space, in the universe's infinitely intelligent and abundant economy, is never truly emptiness. It is the essential, vital condition required for something entirely new, something grander, something more integrated, to truly form and manifest. The separation that sometimes and quite often occurs within these potent soul bonds is not definitive evidence that the bond is broken, that the connection has failed, or that it was ever an illusion. On the contrary, it is powerful evidence that both souls are being asked, by the divine intelligence that orchestrates their journey, to do the deep, profound, and often uncomfortable inner work that constant, unbroken physical contact or proximity sometimes inadvertently delays. When you are constantly with someone who mirrors you so precisely, so powerfully, it is incredibly easy, almost instinctual, to project your own shadows, your own wounds, or even your own desired wholeness onto them, instead of courageously integrating those aspects within yourself. Separation, by its very nature, removes that convenient option. It forces the work inward, demanding self-confrontation and genuine self-integration. And the work done in separation, in that sacred crucible of solitude, is often the most profound, most permanent, and most deeply soul-shifting work of the entire journey. It is where the gold is refined. This sixth key unlocks when you learn to consciously, intentionally hold the bond in your heart during these periods of stretching silence and physical absence, not with grasping, desperate clinging, or frantic attachment, but with the steady, unwavering knowing of someone who understands, deeply and intuitively, what is actually happening on the level of the soul, far beyond the illusions of the physical realm. It unlocks when you can rest peacefully, with a deep sense of trust, in the stillness between stars, without automatically interpreting it as abandonment, failure, or the end of what was. When you achieve this profound level of inner peace and unwavering faith during the periods of external quiet, you have matured into a frequency, a vibrational state that the bond itself can fully trust, knowing that you are capable of holding its truth regardless of circumstance. The seventh key, the return. When both souls have done the work, the bond completes every sacred bond, every divinely orchestrated connection, eventually reaches a moment of completion, not an ending in the conventional sense, but a profound fulfillment, a glorious blossoming into its highest, most potent expression. This is a point at which the soul contract, meticulously designed by the higher selves, reaches its intended culmination, and both individuals arrive, often simultaneously, at the most integrated, most authentic, most powerful version of themselves that the contract was specifically designed to produce. They have each walked their path, faced their shadows, embraced their light, and become the most magnificent iteration of who they were always meant to be. And in that sacred arrival, in that shared state of wholeness, the bond itself undergoes a radical, breathtaking transformation. It becomes something entirely new, something it never, ever could have been at the very beginning of the journey. Not because the immense love and the profound connection were not always inherently there, etched into the fabric of their souls, but because the human vessels, the individual bodies and egos, were not yet fully prepared, not yet expansive enough, not yet healed enough to hold such a vast, unconditional love at its full, unadulterated capacity. The container had to expand to hold the divine elixir. The return, the moment of ultimate completion, is not always, and exclusively, a physical reunion in the traditional sense, though it often beautifully manifests as one. Sometimes, it is a profound, energetic completion, a deep, pervasive moment of inner peace that washes over you, a sense of quiet triumph in which you finally, truly, stop carrying the tension, the longing, or the subtle ache of the unresolved bond, because something profound inside you has finally, completely resolved it. You have done your sacred portion of the inner work. You have bravely and compassionately unlocked all the previous keys, integrated the lessons, and healed the wounds. And whether your counterpart physically reappears in your reality, or arrives in your vivid dreams, or simply lives on as a permanent, comforting warmth, an unwavering presence in the center of your chest, an undeniable knowing within your soul, the bond is complete. It has reached its ultimate energetic fulfillment, becoming an immutable truth that transcends physical form. This seventh, culminating key unlocks, not primarily through relentless effort, through striving or forcing, but through the profound conscious act of surrender. Not the surrender of giving up, not the weary resignation of defeat, but the expansive, empowering surrender of fully trusting what was written, what was divinely orchestrated, what was destined from the beginning of time. It is the courageous act of releasing the ego's insistent need to control the how and the when of the manifestation, and simply remaining vibrantly available, radiantly open, deeply healed, and profoundly present in your own truth. That availability, that full body, full soul readiness, that unshakable trust in the unfolding of the divine plan, is the final, most potent act. And it is the very act that, with grace and precision, opens the door to the ultimate fulfillment of the bond, not from the outside, but from the inside out, aligning your inner reality with your highest destiny. Here is what the universe needs you to hear before you close this transmission, before you turn away from this sacred space. You have not been waiting because you are not enough, because you are flawed, or because you are undeserving of profound love. You have been waiting because something truly extraordinary, something of immense cosmic significance, is being meticulously prepared, not just for you, as a personal blessing, but profoundly through you, as a conduit for higher consciousness. The soul bond you have been carrying, the deep, inexplicable connection that feels far too significant to casually dismiss and far too complicated to logically explain, was not a mistake, a random anomaly, or a product of an overactive imagination. It was not a lesson primarily designed to break you, to leave you in fragments of despair. It was, from its very inception, a divine commission. It was your soul, in its boundless wisdom and with full, conscious awareness, choosing to love at a level that fundamentally requires complete, radical transformation. Because only a love that demands transformation, that acts as a catalyst for profound growth, is ultimately capable of truly producing it, capable of bringing forth the highest version of self and other. You are not here, my dear soul, to experience small love, limited love, or merely comfortable love that keeps you complacent. You are here to be a living, breathing demonstration, a radiant beacon of what love truly looks like, what it feels like, and what it is capable of when it operates at the purest frequency of truth, authenticity, and divine purpose. And that demonstration, that sacred example of two souls choosing each other, profoundly and unequivocally, through all the inherent difficulty, through the stretching silences, through the insidious doubts, and through the profound transformative work, changes things. It changes things not just for you, in your personal journey. It changes things for everyone who is blessed to witness it, whether consciously or unconsciously. It changes things for the collective field of human consciousness. It elevates the understanding of an entire species that is still, in many ways, stumbling through the kindergarten of spiritual wisdom, still learning, often painfully, what love is actually, truly capable of becoming. So tonight, as the world quiets around you, if you feel the profound weight of this sacred journey, if the silence between stars has been long and testing, or if the path ahead has felt unclear, shrouded in mist, place your hand gently, compassionately, on your heart. Do this not merely as a ritual, a mechanical gesture, but as a conscious, heartfelt act of communion with the deepest part of yourself, the part that has always known, that has never forgotten the cosmic truth of who you are and who you are connected to. It is the part of you that has been steadfastly holding the signal steady, radiating its truth, even when your conscious mind was too exhausted, too overwhelmed, or too lost in doubt to hold it consciously. Say this, if it is true for you, and only if it resonates deeply and authentically within your soul. I trust what was written in my soul. I honor the sacred bond I carry. I release the fear, the doubt, and the protective walls that have kept it from fully landing, from fully manifesting. And I am ready. Not because everything in my external world is perfect, not because all my wounds are magically gone, but because I have done the profound inner work to become worthy of what I am calling in, to become the very frequency of the love I seek. That is not a wish, a mere hopeful thought sent into the ether. That is an activation. And activations, unlike wishes, do not simply hope for change. They fundamentally, irrevocably change frequency. And frequency, my dear soul, unlike hoping, changes reality. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of what is forming here. Drop one intention in the comments, something real from your heart journey. Then respond to someone else's with encouragement or love. This is not content. This is collective healing. Love multiplies when hearts connect. If something in this message resonated, do not keep it to yourself. Someone in your life is waiting for this exact activation. Share it. And if you felt a soul nudge, subscribe. Stay in the flow of divine love guidance. You are not just watching. You are healing. This is your sacred space, and we are just getting started. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it. Respond to it. Help carry this message further. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next starseed who needs it.